The pace of the game has picked up, and it has clearly affected the Golden State Warriors straight from Steve Kerr's mouth. We're going to discuss how they handle this, plus some other issues they're dealing with right now. Lack of two-way players, we're going to debate that. That's on today's show.
You are Locked On Warriors, your daily Golden State Warriors podcast.
What are they going to say now?
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is the good word, everyone? Welcome into Locked On Warriors. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. We're free and available wherever you get your audio podcasts. You can also check us out on YouTube. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. If you want to save the thumbs up to make sure it's a good show, I will allow that, but thumbs up, please. We very much appreciate it. Today's episode brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase if it's your first time. My name's Chuck Walter, formerly of 95.7 in CBS News Bay Area. Now covering the Warriors Monday through Friday on this show. Again, YouTube, wherever you get your audio podcasts. On the program today, let's talk about some of the issues that the Warriors have. The importance of Rick Celebrini. Whenever you know whenever the trainer is a household name, you know that he has a role and an important one, and it's huge right now for this team. And then we're going to go with some player grades, went deep into the analytics, the deep dive, and we'll talk about some of the Warriors that have impressed per the numbers and whether the eyes back that up. Let's start with Steve Kerr. Talked a lot about the pacing of the game, how it's the fastest it's ever been, such a different game than it was 5-10 years ago. I mean, specifically, you can go back and look at like the Spurs, Heat, 2009, 10, whatever championship it was, decade and a half ago. And the pacing and the spacing is completely different than what you see today. Just completely different. It reminds you of kind of a team full of like Giannis's, how you would space that. And now it's completely different, and the pacing goes along with it too. Teams are flying up the court, and the teams that have given the Warriors the most trouble thus far are the young, run and gun teams that have athletes, especially on the perimeter, that are going to run against you. And the Warriors have had success against some of the traditional teams. Here's Steve Kerr kind of explaining this phenomenon that's going on right now that's affecting the Warriors specifically.
And I thought the pace of the Milwaukee and Indiana games exposed some of the things that we were doing defensively, and we've got to improve those things to get better. And I think because of all this pace and the way teams are playing, you have to adapt, and you can't expect to do the exact same things you did even the year before. And every game's a little different. You know, the Clippers, Lakers, Denver, those felt more like traditional, games where you're in your coverage. You have time to kind of talk through stuff. Portland, Milwaukee, Indiana, Memphis, it's a much faster game, more random, and you've got to be very disciplined in a lot of different aspects, otherwise you get exposed.
Yeah, the pace of the game is interesting because entering last year, it was kind of the way the Warriors wanted to play. They wanted to get up and down the floor, and they're still a team that likes to get out and run for sure and do some things in transition. But just through the course of a game, and especially the season, it's no kidding that the second oldest team in basketball would have trouble with teams that fly up and down the floor. When it comes to Butler, Curry, Draymond, because we know Al Horford's getting rest, and we're not going to see him in the game on Tuesday night. But between Curry, Butler, and Draymond, you ask Kolsky, give him some rest. You ask me, ask them. That's the most important thing. Ask Rick Celebrini. Ask the people that matter. And apparently, so far so good, because Curry, Butler, and Draymond have played all 7 games through the first portion of the schedule that included some difficult games and some road trips that were tough with, different state back-to-backs and then a Midwest 2-game road trip. And so those guys, Butler, Curry, Draymond, they met with Steve Kerr, Mike Dunleavy, and Rick Celebrini to basically scheme up a plan on how they can steal some time to rest. And here's the full quote from Steve Kerr. So basically, the main thing is these guys are going to play heavy minutes. Mentioned it the other night, 7 games in 12 days, 5 cities. It's not an easy schedule, and I think it showed in the last 2 games against the Indiana Pacers and against the Milwaukee Bucks. We looked a half step slow in a lot of ways. We've been collaborating with our players on this stuff. I'm collaborating with the performance team. They have all the data showing how fatigued these guys are, how fast they run, their recovery time, all that stuff. So what that means is we have to navigate not only back-to-backs, but 3 games in 4 nights. The rules the NBA gives us in terms of which games guys can rest, which games they can't, that's something we are really having to dive into now that the season's going and rolling. It's not easy, but we'll do it in a collaborative effort. And so then the follow-up question was asked, what were the conclusions of the conversation that went down today? And Steve Kerr's quote, "Not every back-to-back is the same. This week is more of like a home back-to-back since we're just driving up to Sacramento. There's no airplanes involved. There's no time change. So I think last week's trip, Indiana and Milwaukee, was actually harder than back-to-backs despite having a day in between because of the travel, obviously, and because we're coming off so many games. Schedule's not always going to be black and white in terms of when to sit a guy, when to rest a guy. Same thing with each guy's condition physically. Sometimes they're banged up. Sometimes they're not. You know, if you have 3 games in 4 nights and the third game coming up, but we get it. We understand. I don't need to read the thing verbatim just to tell you that it's situational. And at this point, if the Warriors are healthy and it's a game they need to win and it's a game they think they can win and it makes sense for these 3 to play, they're going to play. Again, we'll worry about the rest in February. Sleep is for when you're dead. I mean, rest is for when you need rest. And as of right now, it sounds like tired legs maybe affected them to where down the stretch of the game against the Indiana Pacers, you can seriously make the argument when the young guns are rolling, let them finish it. You know, Curry wasn't his night in the first place. Draymond, it hasn't been his season offensively, and let them finish it. The Warriors did not let them finish it. So that's something to monitor moving forward, even just the in-game stuff. Not the, we know on off days or we know on load management nights they're not going to play whatever, but in terms of games that they do play and they're just not physically 1,000% there in-game, can you rely on Kuminga, Podziemski, Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, maybe Jimmy Butler that night, Quentin Post, Will Richard, someday DeAnthony Melton, all these guys, can you rely on them to get you some W's? That's going to be crucial throughout the season, but it is a talking point already. And Warriors talking points right now are, they're not that fun. They're not that fun because they all tie into age and durability, and we're talking pace. Like, who the hell wants to come on here and talk about pace? Only reason we're doing it is because it's a talking point. We got to get to it. But we do have some fun stuff to talk about on the program today. It's player grades. It's the Buddy Hield experience. Oh, baby. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll explain this graphic coming up. And then we'll go little Poindexter. We'll get into the weeds, everyone, on some statistics that are alarming, some statistics that need to change, and just player performances as a whole. Maybe I'll give out some letter grades, and we'll also take a look around the association tonight. There's one undefeated team remaining in the NBA. It's the Oklahoma City Thunder without Jalen Williams. Shocker. They're very good. We won't be talking about that, but they are very good, in case you didn't know. Locked On Warriors. We'll be back after this.
And most importantly, he a dog.
We need more dogs.
All right, today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. One of my favorite things about Game Time is the fact that you can see your seat before you buy it. You see it in the app, full 360. It's good stuff. Basketball season's here. Nothing beats being in the arena for the opening games, but let's get real. Tickets can be a total headache. Make it easy with Game Time, the app that gives fans the advantage. Grab some seats. They got zone deals that are a game changer. You pick the section, Game Time picks your seats, and you save big. You can even find NBA tickets for under $25. Take the guesswork out of buying NBA tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Today's episode is also brought to you by Robinhood. Let me tell you a little bit about Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win. Not just on game day, you play every day. Locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again, channeling that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, crypto, all on one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood Legends advanced tools, or take advantage of the new Robinhood Strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. Let's get back to the show.
Who can stop Steph Curry?
Hopefully we'll never find out.
All right, so let's get into the Buddy Hield experience. And first of all, prop bets. FanDuel, look into some Buddy Hield overs on threes moving forward, because he struggled. I'll get the exact numbers. And when Buddy Hield struggles, you know that big things are coming up. It's just the experience. It's the cycle. It's the circle of life. We've come to know that this is what he does pretty consistently. It's 4 for 20 during a month. Then it's 13 for 18 the next month. And then, you kind of get lulled into just, he went 13 for 18. So he has a 3 for 7 game, and an 0 for 3 game, and a 2 for 3 game, and an 0 for 3 game. And you don't really realize it until next thing you know, it's the 4 for 20. Then it's back to 13 for 18, rinse and repeat. He can shoot you into a game. Rather, he just flat out wins you games. The secret sauce, as we say. Last year, it was so prevalent. When he scored more than 18 points, the Warriors would consistently win just about every single game. He has yet to really give the Warriors that secret sauce. The game logs thus far, he did have 17 in the opener. So that's the secret sauce as of right now. The Warriors 1-0 when Buddy Hield scores 17 in a game. He hit 5 threes against the Lakers. Since then, so he started off the season where he left off last year in Houston and Memphis. He shot it okay, but specifically Houston, he goes 5 of 10 against the Lakers. Since then, 1 of 7, 0 of 1, 0 of 5, 0 of 1, and he just picked it up with 2 of 4. So 1 of 8. I'm doing the math here. He went 1 of 14. 1 of 14 in the 4 games after the opener. 1 for 14. Expect Buddy Hield to start heating up in a hurry. That's something that the Warriors can really use at this point to get consistent contributions from their bench at times, it feels like. So we got into some of the biggest issues thus far in terms of the age and the pacing and just in general. When your own fans are calling you the Olden State Warriors, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's the way the finale of Steph Curry's constructed, and it's bit him in the ass a few games, but they're 4-3 and win against the Suns, and you're fine. I want to see more of Moses Moody. Thus far, I'd honestly have to look at the minutes total because it feels like nothing. Obviously, he starts the season not able to play, had surgery in the offseason, and he's played now in a couple games at this point. 21 against Portland, 22 against Memphis, 22 minutes against the Clippers, 10 against Milwaukee, and 16 against Indiana. And against Memphis, let's not forget, he went for 20 points. It was the game where Podziemski, Kuminga, and Moody each went for 20. So he went for 20 there. Against Portland, he's getting his sea legs under him. Against the Clippers, he plays 22 minutes. He goes 3 of 9. He hits 3 threes. He has 9 points. Doesn't really get run against Milwaukee. Doesn't get a ton of run against Indiana and looks good in the minutes that he gets. I'd like to see more Moses Moody. It's been a very slow reintegration, I feel like. And offensively, he has not done much thus far, aside from the 20-point game. But he has provided some defense. And again, we think this team's calling card is going to be defense. So lean into some of your defensive guys. I'd like to see more of Moses Moody. If he's, healing up and slowly reintegrating, I get that. And this point is moot. I'm all in on team pods. I have been for a long time, but the minutes got to be skewed. If pods is getting 35, Moody better be getting 35 as well somehow. I mean, those guys got to have skewed minutes to some degree to where, give pods 25, sure. Give Moody his 20 minutes. I just think he adds length, and I don't think his offense is that much weaker than pods to where it can't be situational or, a clean split down the middle in majority of games. Because I just think Moody gives you something there that pods doesn't with his length alone and his ability to guard on the perimeter better than Podziemski in one-on-one matchups. Team defense, Podziemski, he actually gives you, with his ability to take charges, grab rebounds, and in the possession, and also the tie-up that he has consistently on his weak side defense, on his help side, I should say. That's something that he gives you. But in terms of just staying in front of your man, point of attack, Moses is supposed to be the best. Give him some minutes. Suns are coming up, as I mentioned. The Warriors are 3-0 at home thus far. All their losses are on the road. Too many threes, I thought the Warriors shot down the stretch against the Indiana Pacers. Last 6 minutes of the game. Let me get the exact. It was, I think, 6 in the final 6 minutes of the game. 6 threes as compared to just 2 shots inside the paint. Get inside the paint. In the previous 6 minutes, they've been doing better with the younger lineup at not just chucking up threes. But late, that's what they did. It's the identity, and you live by the 3. Sometimes you die by the 3. Steph Curry has lived by the 3. Is very often, very seldomly, I should say, died by the 3. And when Steph Curry scores 25 points and you're complaining about the night that he has, that just goes to show you he's still one of the all-time greats and still one of the greats that are active in this league. Because analytically, offensively and defensively, we're going Poindexter now. He's been a good defender. Holding players to 43% from the floor, 30% from 3, and a 39% score percentage, I should say. So he's been a two-way guy. Warriors need more two-way guys. I don't think we necessarily point to Steph Curry as a typical two-way guy, but hey, the numbers, even last year, says that he's a two-way guy, just a different way than we've come to expect with a little bit of length. JK, his offensive game has been awesome. Better numbers than Curry from 3 right now at 40%. He's taken mostly good looks, almost all good looks, usually what the defense gives him. Turnovers can be an issue. That's going to happen with Kuminga, but the biggest thing is those turnovers, aggressive turnovers. You can live with those. Just continue to try and make the right play. And, if your turnover is not getting called on the foul, when you're taking it up strong and you don't get that call, you're blocked, we'll take that turnover. The one that you don't want are the bad passes, the transition plays where you have someone in the corner. Instead, he's taking it strong to the basket and he's getting stripped. Those sorts of things that sometimes happen from time to time. But he's been really good in just about everything offensively. 52% from the floor right now. He was average in just about every. We use Synergy for our statistics over here on Locked On Warriors, and it's what the coaches use. And last year, he was average in just about every metric per Synergy. And it's the advanced analytics telling us right now that he is not average. He's above average in every single metric, and the eye test backs it up. And what's crazy is last year it said, the analytics, that he was actually a very good defender. This year, not so much. He's been very bad analytically. Aaron Gordon obviously went crazy. You got Luka Doncic. He had to guard Ja Morant. Did a good job in his minutes against Ja. But some of the other guys, when someone scores 43 and 50, in a game. That can be a reason why with such a small sample size. But defensively, yeah, analytically, he has not been good. His responsibilities defensively have been shooting 47% from the floor. So people that he's guarding, 47%, 35% from three, a 49% score percentage. Scares me slightly that Steve Kerr would start yanking over, defense, but I just think the offense is so much better to this point. And you saw some flashes. You've seen flashes over and over again of pretty good on-ball defense at times. I mean, he can get beat. A lot of it's just position-based, and that's something that you need more reps, man. He's what, 22? Still young. You got to try and develop his defense because it's not the lack of effort there. He's bouncing around, playing good D. It's just positioning, understanding things that you'd hope he is going to get better in. Again, a 38% score percentage last year on him compared to 49% this year. And teams shot 38% on him last year compared to 47% this year. But you got to gamble that he can become a two-way mainstay. Because if not him, I mean, you don't have that many options. Fifth worst in the NBA right now with more than 50 one-on-one possessions is Jonathan Kuminga. Meanwhile, Pods, analytically, it's been good overall offensively. 46% from the floor, 37% from three. He's been unreal in transition, not that good in the half court. Defensively, he's been bad, a liability, you could say. Teams have a 45% score rate on him. He's given up 50% field goal percentage. You look at his defensive metrics from last year, they were actually pretty good. But again, he is who he is. He's not going to stay in front of the elite playmakers and the elite athletes this league has to offer. When Cade Cunningham switches on him, good luck, Pods. You're not stopping him. But he's going to make up for it by taking the charges, offering the smart help side, grabbing the rebounds, like I said. So Steve Kerr, how's he going to match the rotations to the identity that this team's supposed to have? What is this identity supposed to be? Jimmy Butler's advanced metrics. So elite offensively. 50% for the floor. I think it's 50% from three. Rarely takes bad shots. Defensively, the analytics say it's not that great. Now, seventh best offensive player per synergy through the first 100 possessions. Steph 14, Kuminga is 20, by the way, on that list. And they're up there with Giannis, Randall, Levine, Luka, Lowry, Durant. Then it's Jimmy at 7. So the list doesn't lie. The data, you can't always trust it, but we've come to trust it quite a bit as a society, and the Warriors specifically trust in it. So I'm going to trust it in this point. Very good defender last year was Jimmy Butler, and that's what you hope he can harness here soon. Get back to, getting his hands in passing lanes, going the other way in transition, getting to the line more. All these things that he does to slow down the pace that aren't necessarily factored into that great offensive start. That's what we want to see some more from Jimmy Butler, but he's been really good. Butler's been really good. Draymond Green, poor offensively. We only need to get into the numbers. Let's put it this way. He's got a 32% turnover rate. Jimmy Butler has a 10%. Steph Curry has a 13%. But he's so good defensively, holding opponents to 27% right now. He's dominant at guarding the 3-point line. He can guard inside of it, and he's the rare talent that can swat a big, a 7-footer, pick the basketball up, take it the other way, and play make. That can't be undersold. But in terms of two-way player, Draymond Green, he's not it right now. And the Warriors do not have a ton of two-way players, and other teams in the association have. Now, I said Draymond. I've done this a couple times now. Draymond. The case study points to a big issue. That case study we just did. The two-way players, they're needed, and you'd think that changes once Jimmy starts to just get a little more locked in defensively overall. And like I said, analytics say that Steph's two-way, but the defense isn't great. It's just good. Al Horford hasn't been two-way. What's funny is Gary Payton actually is 60% from the floor right now, only takes good shots. He's been good defensively. He's holding teams to 26% from three. People say less Gary, and the analytics say he's actually been good. But again, he hasn't played a ton. Will Richard has been good offensively and defensively. But again, I don't understand the advanced analytics because you look at his numbers, he's 40% for the floor, 29% from three, and has a 25% turnover percentage. But trust the data. The data says he's been very good offensively and defensively. So that's going to do it for that. Warriors and Suns coming up on Tuesday night. I want to take a look around the association when we return. I'll look at some of the comments. Slow night on the live show, but it is an off night. We'll get back after it with the thousands here on the Locked On Live post-game show on YouTube. We'll do that when we when that Suns game wraps up. But for now, we'll be right back.
And most importantly, he a dog.
We need more dogs.
All right, today's episode is brought to you by Doer in San Francisco. You can check out their store. It's at 567 Hayes Street. One of my favorite things about the Doer Performance Denim Slim Straight is that they're comfortable. That's one of my favorite things. My other favorite thing is that they are versatile. You can wear them anywhere. You can wear them everywhere, whether it's warm, mild, cold, microclimates, no problem. They look stylish too. 5 times the stretch of traditional denim jeans. And it's not just jeans, it's jeans wear. Find out what jeans wear is in person or online. Check out their store, 567 Hayes Street. Pick up a pair for yourself. It is a perfect holiday gift. Mention my promo code LOCKEDONSF in store. You'll get 15% off your first order. Check them out online, shopdoer.com/LockedOnSF for 15% off. Doer is spelled D-U-E-R. That's shopdoer.com/LockedOnSF. Today's episode is also brought to you by Rugiet. Let me tell you a little bit about our newest sponsor, Rugiet. So what Rugiet is something that every dude needs at a certain age. Making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've heard them before. It's stress. I'm tired. It happens to everyone sometimes. But when it comes to performance, sometimes your body just needs a little extra support, and that's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED, designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. Rugiet makes it easy to get started. Connect with a board-certified doctor, 100% online, no waiting rooms, no in-person appointments. It's delivered discreetly straight to your door, all handled by real doctors. And if you visit Rugiet.com/LockedOnNBA, you'll get 15% off your first order. Rugiet.com/LockedOnNBA. Use our code LockedOnNBA so they know we sent you. Rugiet. Stop making excuses and start making moves. Rugiet.com. Rugiet. Let's get back to the show.
Destroy Jimmy and Domino's. I know Jimmy drinks great wine.
All right, around the association tonight. I know the Pistons, who I took second in the East, and I'm feeling still pretty good about. They ran train tonight on the Memphis Grizzlies, 114-106. Ja Morant and the Grizzlies, trouble in paradise right now. That's a team that Steve Kerr mentioned gives the Warriors troubles, but the Warriors and most teams have not really appeared to have that much of a trouble with the Memphis Grizzlies. And it sucks for those down in Memphis on Beale Street because it felt like they had a window just a couple of years ago, 2022. I'll say it for the rest of time. I stand by it. The Memphis Grizzlies was the hardest task the Warriors had to play that postseason, harder than even the Boston Celtics or as hard. They were cooking, though. Wolves beat the Nets. No Anthony Edwards, no problem. It's Dante DiVincenzo who leads the way with 25-9. Wolves 125, Nets 109. Bucks beat the Pacers. Giannis, who the Warriors didn't get to see. And by the way, the Pacers played him tough, 117-115. Siakam 32-8-3. It's time to start talking about Pascal Siakam as a top 15 player in the NBA. I mean, this dude he's a champion. He's taken teams to championships. He's awesome. Giannis is better, though. 33-13 for Giannis. 1 point better, but the Bucks 2 points ahead of the Pacers 117-115 in the teams that recently beat the Warriors battle. Jazz 105, Celtics 103. Keontae George has been lighting it up this season. He had 31. Jaylen Brown had 36. Knicks beat the Wizards 119-102. Towns 33, Sar 19. Rockets beat the Mavs. Şengün had 26, 11, and 6. Pistons beat the Grizzlies. Beef Stew led the way with 26 and 14. Nuggets beat the Kings. Russell Westbrook had 26, 12, and 6 for the Kings, but Jokic had 34, 7, and 14 for the Nuggets, and it's Denver who wins 130-124 over Sacramento. Lakers beat the Blazers. Lakers are winning games without LeBron James. They're now 6-2. DeAndre Ayton had himself a night. 29 points, 10 rebounds. I have said DeAndre Ayton sucks many times on this show, and tonight I give him a golf clap. 29 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks for DeAndre Ayton. Denny Avdia, 33 and 6 for Portland. Portland's nice, but not on this night. They lose at home by 8 points. And then the Miami Heat, 120. Clippers, 119. Adebayo had 25 and 10. James Harden, 29, 7, and 8 for the Clippers. Andrew Wiggins had 17 in the game. Norman Powell had 21. That's it on the look around the league. Some of the other things that I want to get to on the program today. Viewer comments. You've stuck around this long, you deserve to pop in there. I told Kylan to pop in backstage. There she goes. That's what you get when this team is old and can't play too many games. Young guys have to step up. I think the young guys should have had the chance to finish out what they started. And in hindsight, it's easy to say that. Real time, it's you lose that game and Curry sits on the bench the entire fourth quarter and you wonder, especially if the offense isn't a thing of beauty down the stretch, you know, you're getting some Moses Moody step back threes or whatever it is. That's when it's easier said than done to be the old couch coach. But I agree in that situation, give it to him, especially with the comments coming out today now that they're monitoring things and they believe they had tired legs, then, you know, trust it real time. O'Brien says Dubs are cooked. Curry looks like he's having problems at home. Looks tuned out. I put this team at like the 2 seed 3 days ago. I switched them from 6 to the 2, and here we are. Everyone's already saying season's over. 7 games in. Can we enjoy things? I mean, damn it. We got 2 more years left of Steph Curry potentially. Can we just enjoy it? Empire says Warriors' biggest issue is that GP2 and Buddy are getting playing time. Again, advanced analytics. You know what they said about Gary Payton? They said that Gary Payton's actually been playing well. So, don't Poindexter. He always tells it the right way. In terms of Buddy Hield, again, I'll go to the other graphic. The Buddy Hield experience. It's at some point, it's going to turn. We're in the 4 for 20 phase right now. I said 1 for 14, 4 for 20. Sooner or later, we'll get into that 13 for 18 mode. He just went to a 4. We could be in that 13 for 18 mode right now. Containing the ball. It's what Kevin says. Containing the ball, always an important aspect of basketball. And then we got, the faithful coming in saying the Warriors' biggest issue can be summed up in one word: Kerr. It's always Kerr. Anyways, he plays some of the blame, no doubt about it. Blame to be placed all around. When people say Curry is a two-way guy, you know they're clueless. Yeah, I mean, he's not a traditional two-way guy, no doubt about it. I'm just saying that analytically speaking, he's actually been pretty decent defensively. So anyways, Young West says it best, another roller coaster season. I think that's going to be the move. And that is pretty much a show tonight, about 35 minutes on this Monday. Tuesday, we're back at it. It's the Suns and the Warriors from Chase at 7 o'clock. That'll do it. This is Locked On Warriors. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Hit that like on the way out if you enjoyed the show. If you hung out with us this long, we hope you did. If not, there are other hobbies out there. But I thank you, actually, truly, for being a part of this program. Can't wait to get it up to 20,000 subscribers, hopefully for a big-time push of some winning Warriors basketball. Locked On Warriors. See ya, everyone.